Good morning. Guess what day it is today? As I drive my Ice Age 1 Toyota Avalon up to the dealer today to get it serviced. You know, I don't talk much about this Toyota Avalon. And, you know, here's the thing. It's an Avalon, right? But here's the special thing. It's a TRD. I know. When I bought this now 2 years ago, and that was kind of a bumpy decision. I really questioned buying this vehicle, and in hindsight, I should have never bought it. And so you're like, well, why? Well, because I had a Toyota TRD Pro Voodoo color. And, you know, I've talked so many times. I know a lot of guys just say, you just trash that TRD. If you just trash that TRD Tacoma, or, you know, Tacoma truck, get the trash. There's my kids. See the trash right there? Yeah, we're gonna take it over to the barn. So just grab it, and inside the barn, the garbage can. So okay, I hope my kid's getting confused here. Yeah, so back to my conversation here. So I had a TRD Pro Voodoo, you know, and I even I didn't really modify it, but I did a bunch of things to it, put bigger tires on it, put a nice roll bar, put lights on it. I did a lot of stuff to it, put a cover on it, and that truck just had like no power. When I put the little bigger tires on, it was just an upsize, meaning that I didn't have to put a lift kit on it. I didn't have to change the wheels out. And, you know, so let's get in the car here, and I'll show you the car, because here she is. Now, it's just a really great, you know, it's a great sedan. I mean, even to the point that this vehicle here, some people be laughing their ass off on this statement, okay? This vehicle has a more fun factor to it than my Hellcat Charger. I mean, some of you be like, oh my God. It's like, dude, you're losing it now. And, I mean, sincerely, yeah. Let me get in the car here. All right, so let's jump in the TRD, and I'll explain a little bit more here. Let's go down the road. Man, I've had so many Toyotas growing up, and I just love the Toyota product. Fun factor being I got, you know, that was my dad's first little foreign cars back in California. He lived in California. The first car my dad bought was a Toyota Celica GT. It's 1973 model, used stick shift, but I think my dad bought it in like 1970. It may have been a 71, I don't know, but he was like 2 or 3 years old. All right, got the kid, the badass Ford Tremor F350. I just can't get over that truck. It's such a huge difference from the F350 to the F250. So the one thing I like about this car is an automatic e-brake. So when you put this car in drive, it takes off the e-brake. And then when you put it in park, it automatically puts it back in. Just puts it back in. You know, it's the brake. I didn't do anything. That's the brake. So, here we go. I didn't touch anything. So, but here's the thing. This TRD Avalon, this isn't like a sought after vehicle, you know. I kind of talk about a lot of vehicles that are more common, you know, that people would probably buy, and, you know, trucks and Mustangs and Challengers. But as far as the TRD Avalon, I mean, you know, I know this is the old man's car. That's why a few years ago when I bought this vehicle, I was really on the page to get the TRD Camry package. You know, the Toyota Camry TRD, that is a hot sought after vehicle. You know, at least back in the time in 2019, when I was looking at that, you know, I was thinking of taking that and trading it for the TRD. I was going to trade my Tacoma Pro Voodoo Blue with the air snorkel I really was fixated on getting rid of that and getting a sedan, because I don't really have any sedan vehicles. So I went to the Toyota dealership and I test drove a Camry. Was it the TRD? They didn't have any. I mean, the problem back then was the minute a TRD Camry showed up, on the carrier, every Toyota sales guy that knew of somebody who wanted one of those would jump on the phone and they would just be gone. It's a great value, good looking car, and so that's really what I wanted. But this vehicle was in front of the dealership at that dealer at the other day, and I looked it over, but I drove the Camry, and I really did like that Camry non-TRD. It was a higher end package, the sport package, and I don't know the Camry product good enough to say is it the XLE or SLE or whatever the hell the abbreviations are for a really nice setup. A car was white, and I drove it, and I really liked that vehicle. But then I drove this vehicle, the Toyota Avalon TRD package, first year 2020 that Toyota decided to make this vehicle. And I had strong reservations. Even though I drove it, and it drives like a really nice vehicle, and ironically enough, back in 1992, I owned a Toyota Cressida. And back then, that was a four-door sedan. That was a really nice car. And if you're a Toyota person, that 92 Cressida was just a really sharp, great vehicle. And so I've had a few Toyotas. I had a Toyota Corolla for my wife. That thing was, yeah, the Corollas. Don't take it the wrong way, Corolla people, but yeah, we buy a Toyota Corolla. That's a whole other me going broke story. Me having to get rid of all my. Back then, I only had a few vehicles, but I had to give them all up, and I had to buy a two-door Toyota pickup truck, manual transmission, no air conditioning, roll up and down windows. Now, this is 1992. Think about that. In today's world, to think you'd buy a car that's no air conditioning. I worked out of that vehicle in 1992, selling that wireless car wash. If you watch my detail videos, I told you about me back in 92, 93. I used to hang out with Dos Equis man, the most interesting man in the world. And his name's actually Jonathan Goldsmith. He's an actor. So back in 92, 93, fall of 92, I was an oil salesman, and I used to drive tanker fuel trucks. And I left my job after I was starting to make some really good money. I was a commission. I left my job after I was starting to make some really good money. I was a commissioned salesman. If you watch my Think and Grow Rich video, I talk about in better detail, where I kind of my starting point in my career kind of came from. And so in 92, I had a nice Chevy Dually. I mean, actually in 92, I had a 4Runner. And it was a black one. And it was like the first year, I think, out when they redesigned it. And I drove that around for a while, but then I really wanted a dually. I've just been a dually guy, so I'm crazy. This is only back when I had like two vehicles. So I know I only had one vehicle. Let me back up. I only had one vehicle. So I traded my 4Runner in for a Chevy Dually 454 motor, gas guzzling motor, and I'm trying to think in hindsight. I think I had that Toyota Cressida too at that time, but so I think I had the 4Runner and the Cressida, if I remember right. Yeah, I did. And then I had a Toyota MR2. That was my first marriage when I lived out here. So I got the dually truck. It had the high rear end gears, and I used to drive to work, and work was about 35 miles one way, and so I'd drive like 70 miles round trip. And then I was in sales, and every now and then I would drive that truck around and do sales. I would just watch the gas gauge move. I mean, literally, I'd watch the gas gauge. Jesus Christ, it was sickening, really. But I'm a truck nut, and so I wanted that thing so bad. So, going back in the history of my Toyotas, well, I left my career job in the summer of late spring, early summer, summer of '92, and to go sell a car wash product, like the Amway network marketing type of thing. And and the fiasco began. So sure enough, now I'm going around and trying to make a living all by myself, and I'm trying to sell a car wash product and sign up distributors, and wow, I mean, that was a very challenging time, and I worked 7 days a week to make nothing, really. I mean, so that's where I probably got a lot of my personality back in '92. Was I was literally walking up to anybody in any parking lot and talking to people, and that's that was incredible. That '92, I grew up in '92 to '93 because I just had no choice but to sell myself to somebody and sell this product, where I had to really interact with people all day long. And oh my gosh, that was an incredible challenge. And I went broke. I mean, over time, I had a lifestyle of living off, a $65,000 a year income. In '92, 65 grand a year was a pretty decent income. And now, I'm lucky if I make, $100 for the whole day. I'm lucky. So now I'm lucky if I gross $2,500 for the month, or $3,000, dollars, and that's now me basically running my own little mini business. And I mean, just wow, and then I went through a winter of that house you see with no heat, because it has oil. Back at that time, it still does have it. I have radiator heat. So in the winter, '92 December going to '93, I went out and bought little kerosene heaters. You hadn't had a great idea, right? Oh my gosh. And a little electric heaters, because I couldn't afford to buy. It's a 500-gallon fuel tank. And it's a 150-gallon minimum delivery. And some people are like, oh yeah, what's a big deal about that? Well, that's back then, that was $200. I didn't have it. So as the time progressed, unfortunately, I got behind on my truck payment, got behind my car payment, and unfortunately, I lost my dually. General Motors, at that time it was called GMAC. They came and took the vehicle, and they're called repossession. And I had a boat. If you saw a picture of me the other day, it was on a boat. That boat was a little Stingray sport boat. Not a very expensive boat by any means, but I couldn't get rid of that, so they eventually came and took that away. So, repossessed that, and then I had no choice but to get rid of the Cressida and the MR2. So I took those two vehicles to the Toyota dealer, and I traded those for a real basic Corolla for my wife, and me a two-door Toyota pickup truck, 4-wheel drive, just base model that had nothing in it. Radio, stick shift. But now I had another guy that a good friend of mine, which that's a whole other story. I'll probably tell you about one day. But anyways, I haven't had my coffee or my breakfast. Driving to a Toyota dealership this morning to drop this vehicle off to get service. And somebody's probably like, well, what's going on? Why are you're all over the place this morning? Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of, it's one of these things where here I've got a Toyota. I've been a Toyota guy my whole life. I've always have liked Toyotas. Even the point that the first time I ever stick shifted driving a pickup was in 1975. My dad bought a used Toyota pickup truck, and he literally let me drive that truck coming down the street in our neighborhood. A lot of people would be like, yeah, what's so big? What's the big deal about that? But, we had a Toyota Celica, which my brother totally trashed. GT, that's a whole other story I can tell you about my brother, what he used to do to my dad. And so I'm just, I'm a Toyota guy. I've been a Toyota guy my whole life. And So now, anyways, fast forward here as time progresses, and I've owned lots of Toyota cars, and the Toyota Avalon that I'm driving today, I had reservation of buying this vehicle because I just felt like listing ever have any real value to it. And then I had a Toyota TRD Pro, which, oh my gosh, in hindsight, I should have kept that vehicle, because all the TRD Pros now, in the Tacoma side and 4Runner side, are at incredible value. And this vehicle, believe it or not, this vehicle actually is right now, I had an offer on it for MSRP. But I've gotten rid of so many vehicles, I'm kind of on the page right now, I may let the wife start driving this vehicle. It's a great vehicle, and I think that would be a good choice for her. She goes into work a few days a week. I think I may sell her Explorer at some point, so I'm kind of just doing my cards, as I told you before, my videos. I've got lots of cards, my vehicles to shuffle around, but actually, I'm getting rid of a lot of vehicles. So the deck of cards is getting smaller. And why I didn't do these YouTube videos like 10 years ago? It's interesting. My daughter's behind me, and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you remember if you watched the video of me looking to buy that F-250 Tremor over the weekend, last Friday, Saturday. I was commenting, I wish that truck had cab marker lights, and I'm looking at my F-350 and I'm thinking, wow, that's got the cab marker lights. Now my dually had it, but I really like those cab marker lights. As I drive over to drop my Toyota Avalon 2020 TRD at the dealership, and I'm just kind of giving you lots of information here, probably TMI, right? But the Toyotas always bring me back my younger years, adventures, I guess you could say. So here we are. All right, now the question is, where'd my kid go? There she is. Now we're gonna get breakfast. Oh, there's the TRD Lunar Rock Sequoia. I've had those. It's cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Not too shabby for a SUV, that is, but hey, what do I really like, right? Yeah, this thing right here. Guess who's driving? Truck. All right, going over to Panera now, and guess what? So many years ago, who was driving the kid? Who's driving Dad? So here's the thing. You can do that. That's fine. Well, it's fine. You're good. You're fine. This is all changed up here. Everything changes. So, but it's not a big deal. You don't have any choice. So you're just gonna go up the road and reverse back. So,
that's annoying.
Just stay in the right-hand lane here. So just stay right here. Go straight on up. Okay?
Okay.
Dirt bike girl, truck girl. She got her cowboys boots on. Yeah. We should be living like in Texas, I think. I think we're living in the wrong part of country. Left, exactly.
Okay.
And so what you're gonna do, you're fine. You can be over one more, but we're going the back way to Panera. So you'll just go up the road. We'll go up the back way. I'll show you how to do that.
Do I just follow this?
That sucks. We missed it. Oh no, my daughter's getting me all cooked up here. The heated seats on, which these heated seats are nice. That's something about these vehicles. in that Avalon I just got out of. He said a heated seat but no vented seats. You know, sometimes I'm puzzled in how these manufacturers do so many things, but then they don't do so many things. So the Avalon is now in for its big 6,000 mile service. 2 years old, has like 6,600 miles on it, and I just don't drive that vehicle a lot, but I think I'm gonna let the wife start driving it more. That's kind of the plan here, which you heard earlier. And then you heard all my other stories on the Toyota history of me and how I relate with those vehicles. So you're going up to that second light and make a left. And you know what's incredible? There's our first watch here, and so many years ago, we'd have been like, oh my gosh, let's go to first watch, let's go to first watch. And what's interesting, my daughter,
Dad, where do I go?
take a left at this light right here. This is down in Florida, where other place I live, and now it's our favorite place down there. But then for some reason, my daughter just really doesn't like it as much anymore. I don't know what happened. What happened?
I don't like it.
You know, see, that's something. So that used to be our, and you know, that ain't cheap, but at the same time, you believe it or not, they're not radically more expensive than going to Cracker Barrel. So some people are like, oh, that's very expensive. No, not really. You go to Cracker Barrel's another great place we go to, and down in Florida, that's just, you know, like maybe 3-4 miles from the house. But up here is a Cracker Barrel, and yeah, it's a 30-minute drive. So yeah, no, ain't doing that. But today it's going to be the Panera Breakfast. And once you go up the hill, you're going to make a left to go on the back way of the shopping center. Okay. This guy gets to go.
I know.
Yikes. Watch out.
I see her.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. Good Lord. What's the odds of that? See, I tell my daughter all the time. I tell people all the time. You know, we all make mistakes in life. But I'm going to tell you, when you run somebody over in your vehicle, oh, you know, that's not fixable. You know, people get all upset about things that go wrong or happen. I'm like, but it's fixable. When you run somebody over and kill them or critically injure them, you know, you're done. You've got a major problem in your life. So I would pull in with you. No, go straight, and then just pull right here. Take a left, right between these two poles. You're perfect.
Out.
She's telling me to chill out again. Daddy's all revved up. All right, breakfast time, and I haven't had my coffee yet. Now, usually, we do the Panera thing on Sunday mornings before we go to the car meet. And then we couldn't do that this Sunday because I had to work. Then we got caught up in the Toyota TRD Pro project that never panned out yet. It's raining now. Yikes. And I got a car right next to me. Besides of that, right? Alrighty. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Breakfast at Panera.
Tiffany's.
It's a song. You don't get it.
It's an old person song.
So now my daughter's claiming that I'm an old person. Well, I'm 58. 58 years old.
I'm kidding. I just was
messing with just no pity. The life is good for the youngster here, isn't it, huh? She's laughing at my expense, just like her grandfather. Her grandfather's name is Popcorn. Yeah, and you know, my dad, he's notorious for having fun at your expense. And the rains are coming in here.
This weather sucks.
And yeah, attitude, kid. The weather sucks. You know, during the summer months when it's blazing hot,
I love it.
She'll get to the point, I'm sick of this hot weather.
No, I don't. That was last year.
And then, you know, yesterday she's like, I'm sick of this cold weather.
Dad,
it hasn't even gotten cold yet.
I said I was looking forward to the cooler fall days, not to the 30-degree freezing weather. You must have misunderstood me.
Isn't it interesting that teenagers know everything you're thinking? You ever notice that? Anybody notice that hey, there's where we have the car meet.
Looks like there's a car meet there right now.
Yep. All right, heading back in to go to work. Kid's biting her fingernails. Must be nervous about something.
What? What am I nervous about?
I have no idea.
Okay.
All right, now I'm the passenger, you know. Got a driver, passenger here, and I've been talking about my Toyota days, my younger days with the Toyota Avalon and my Toyotas, you know. And I think back, I had a Toyota, they didn't call them Tacoma back. I can't remember. I just am trying to remember what those vehicles were called. So, this morning I was complimenting my Toyota Avalon TRD, which, I get it. Most people are like, that thing, are you kidding me? And I made a statement earlier.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any TRD product from the back.
So, just keeps on rubbing it in, right? So,
What?
yeah, so I made a statement when I first started the video. Hey, the Toyota Avalon, I'd keep this. This is more fun than my Hellcat Charger. And I know
What?
people.
I forgot you said that.
Yeah, well, people be like, what? Are you kidding me? Okay, so here's the insult to the Dodge Charger Hellcat. I mean, hey, badass car. Yeah, is it fast? Yeah, it's a great sedan, great car. But the fun factor. I mean, it's incredible how that Toyota Avalon TRD has has more of a fun factor to it over
Does
that.
it have the rev match?
No, but it has a nice little TRD exhaust on it. It's just a great vehicle. Now, of course, yeah, it's front-wheel drive. It's like 300 horsepower, I believe, 280, 300 horsepower. So, I know. It's not going to be the Hellcat jerk, snap your neck. But just overall, great vehicle. And my statement basically was more saying that, the Hellcat product, here's the Challenger, Charger. Here's the Charger. And it isn't bash the Hellcat product. It's a great product. But I've had them. And, when I ride around in them, you just don't have that exhilarating, incredible, feel that it's just badass 700 horsepower car on what you would be driving like a sports car. So it's a sedan, and once again, I've owned so many Chargers, and I know a lot of people watch my videos and I'm like, that guy's just now bashing Dodge and Ram all the time, and I'm not bashing them. I'm just sharing with you, I've owned so many of them. I know the vehicle very, very well because I own so many of them. And what I'm saying to you is that TRD Avalon, it's just a really fun car. It just has a tuned suspension under it, and it's just a really comfortable vehicle. And it's got some nice technology in it, and for the bang for the buck, I think it's a great, value, great product. And, back to Charger Hellcat, that's a lot of money. I mean, what people don't really stop and think about is, okay, you're talking about, a $70,000 to $90,000 to $100,000 vehicle when you get into wide body red eye Charger, a narrow body Charger Hellcat, it's going to be in the 70s. So it's a lot of money, versus the Avalon's $40,000. So, I mean, as an individual, somebody's got GERD. Clear your throat all the time, you get GERD. I had that conversation the other morning, but I haven't posted that yet. That's my other adventure with Carvana. You don't know about my other adventure I'm working on right now. I have another adventure that I'm working on to be a first time ever purchase with Carvana. I'm very intrigued to go through the process and go to the car tower and buy a vehicle. So that's my next project. If things, work out on that, that's another video. So, back to the statement with the TRD Avalon, the bang for the buck and the money, I think it's 30 miles per gallon, just a great product. Yeah, is it going to smoke the Hellcat? No, heck no. So...
In my opinion, I just don't see the comparison between the two. No, I'm just saying though, like, that's a car from, like, Japan, right? Isn't Toyota Japanese?
Yep.
And the Charger and Challenger is the American muscle car.
Canadian.
The Toyota.
Canadian build.
American.
So my daughter now, for all you Mopar guys, because you remember she has the
But Dad,
Gold
let me
Rush
finish.
Challenger.
Well, let me finish. The only thing comparable with the Charger and Challenger, I feel, is the Supra. The Avalon is a different type.
Well, you're going from a two-door sports car to a four-door sedan and two-door sedan car, but okay, she's just, and that's what I'm saying. That's my point, is, yeah, I'm not here to say that the Avalon is a faster, more muscle car. I'm saying comfort-wise and enjoyability, that Avalon TRD, not the Avalon car, the TRD, that's a really fun package. And that's kind of what I'm trying to explain is, if you're looking at your budget and you're saying, okay, I spend $80,000 for a vehicle, or I spend $40,000 for a vehicle, I'm saying the fun factor at 40 grand is pretty, it's pretty respectable, It's all about the money. I mean, that's another thing that I'm talking about. Just like the Ram TRX truck, hey, yeah, it's a badass truck. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of truck. The Raptor, it's a lot of money. So I just try to, people that watch my videos, I can only hope that they're looking for information on basing their decisions. And what you find out in a typical car market, you buy a car, and after you've owned it for a while and you don't really like it, in the old days of the car market, you're going to take a hell of a beating. You're going to take a huge loss. So I'm just trying to help people out on evaluating vehicles, because this whole country revolves around vehicles. I mean, my whole YouTube channel called Ice Age TV all revolves around cars and trucks and motorcycles. So, but that's this whole country, and I've said it years ago. You take away the car infrastructure of this country, we're a third world country. I mean, so it's all about the vehicles, and you think about all the advertising. Just stop and think to yourself. First thing you have advertised on is you're driving down the road and you're looking at other new cars, and that's what catches your eye. Hey, I really like the way that Ram TRX looks. Or no, I don't. Actually, I was thinking about it, but now I've seen it in person. Or, hey, I really like that Raptor look. Hey, I really like the way that Charger looks. I really like the way the 4Runner looks. So it's constant advertising. And then on top of that, you've got mega advertising from car companies, not only between the TV, the internet. I mean, just think about, to a degree, it's like the brainwashing. I mean, if you're a car person, the challenge is it's never-ending content about cars and trucks. And am I a perfect example of a person that, has been, my brain's been vacuuming into all that? Yeah, for sure. I'm constantly fixated on what's the next great vehicle or truck or motorcycle, whatever it is. I'm always intrigued. What is it? I want one of those. You don't live forever. I want to enjoy whatever I can, have, and be able to say, wow, I was able to drive a lot of different cars. That's just my passion. And that's what these videos are all about. It's all about my passion of liking cars and vehicles, and hopefully I can share with you. A lot of people don't have the time. They don't have the income. They don't have the accessibility that I fortunately do have. And hopefully the videos will radiate back to people like, hey, I was really on that Ram truck, but after watching that guy's video, you know what? I drove that Ram TRX. They actually let me drive one. Then I drove the Raptor truck, and damn, that guy's in right. Or, oh my God, that guy is so wrong. That Ram truck was really for me, and that Raptor was not for me, or vice versa. Just like the Dodge Charger and the Hellcats. People, hey, this is serious big money. And you've got other options to evaluate when you're up in that money. You start spending $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000, the door opens.
Would you get a Charger Red Eye?
I'd rather have at this point, I'd rather have a 37 wrap. Because I've had so many Charger Hellcats, and I know the product. You know, I just know the product so well, and I've lived in those vehicles so much that, you know, I guess you could say to a degree, my Hellcat, you know, the Hellcat phase is, you know, I've had my Hellcat day, and I'm just more about moving on, you know. And if I wasn't, then
Why is he stopped?
because you're following a guy in a truck, and it's just called driving cars. And there was a stop sign there, you know.
But he drove in the middle of the intersection. And
Critical of
stopped.
others. Critical of others. He's a perfect driver. All right, back to the shop, back to the residence, back to the routine.
Hey,
So, you know, here's my video, and we'll finish it up, picking up the Avalon later on. We'll go back and pick it up, and then I'll tell you some more stories about the Avalon Toyota adventures and my opinions of vehicles. How about that? Yeah, so my kid doesn't understand. The gate we have closes by itself. We're arguing now about the gate. The gate opener is a pain in the butt. I just told her it closes after 30 seconds. There it is. Look at there. So the gate is now closing all by itself.
Oh, that I don't even close
so
it.
I just told my daughter, by the time you park the truck,
say I'm wrong.
and you park. Oh no, you say I'm wrong. No, I'm right. You're wrong. So she by the time she pretties up her lips and looks at herself in the mirror, the gate would be closed.